Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
All right, y'all. Tell me what's going on today.
I thought
Go ahead, Joy.
Come on, Joy. Welcome back, Joy.
I don't know what.
Got my good friend Joy here, at the New Way Golf Classic. We're at Cherry Creek in Macomb County. This is my hood over here on the east side.
I know.
Repping the 586. Braylon's mad because he had to come from far as hell.
Gas money.
But that's all right.
Is that why he's mad?
That's
or
why he's mad.
Or did he Californication it up at Comerica Park too much last night?
Yep, under the bridge too, baby. That's where you about to find me.
Yeah, we got a little celebrity golf match up here today. Myself, Darren McCarty, will be taking on Kenny Allen. Braylon Edwards as well. Our good friend, Joy Bell, is here in the house
I'm
as
going to
well.
tell you this right now. It's not fair if they were in the tournament, but they're not in the tournament. I had to make sure because that would be cheating. You can't have one scratch golfer and then a two handicap on the same.
Thanks for calling me a scratch. I appreciate it.
Braylon's got the best golfer in the group.
Kenny, get on the mic and get Kenny on the mic.
Former Michigan kicker, NFL player Kenny Allen as well. Are you prepared to carry Braylon Edwards today?
I'm just here to do my best. I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, you know what he said? He just said, I'm a kicker in Michigan. We carry the whole squad all the time. You know that, Neil.
All right, Woodward Sports out here represent New Way Golf Classic, here for a good cause as well. So we're ready to go out there and get it, everybody. Let's go.
Let's do it.
And that is where the entire Bottom Line show is today, out at the New Way Classic going on at Cherry Creek. Not the entire. I was getting to that, man. Right. Damn, man. Just relax. I got that. Chill. My name is Stick. I'm filling in for Ryan Ermani today. Tom Mazaway moves from the big comfy chair to the tall comfy chair. Do you like being up on the desk compared to the...
No, I like my chair.
You like your chair?
I used to like it up here back in the day. Yeah. Back in the Hook days.
The Hook. Oh, man, the Hook. Speaking of the Hook, Darren McCarty out there golfing, as well as Braylon, and, of course, Neil Rule. It's all going on for charity, and we got some updates from them and how that... Because they're playing a 2-on-2 match play. That's what they're doing out there. It's a foursome, but they're playing match play right now. And when I left, it was tied at the 9th hole. So they were tied halfway through. So it's going to be interesting because they were chirping each other.
Oh, God, yeah.
Chirping each other.
Athletes? Oh. On a golf course, plus Neil Rule, the ringer. Come on, man.
And Neil Rule, the mouth. Neil Rule chirps everybody, which is great because he's always sarcastic. We got Flannel Sam in the sound booth. How you doing today, Flannel?
Oh, I'm great, man. Obviously, show number 2 of the day. Ready to do another good one. The first one, the Big D Energy, went very, very well. And I like this little change of pace, this lineup change, and I think it's going to be a good one. Let's get it going. How about that?
All right, Sam.
Let's do that. And then, of course, we have Fletch over in the TD booth. So we're all going to be getting along today, having a good show, talking about the Lions' first preseason game, even though they dropped it to the Falcons.
Mid-season form.
Yeah, still some good things that we can talk about and some bad things that we can talk about. Lomas Brown is going to be joining us today, as well as Lynn Henning to talk some Tigers later on in the second hour. And like I said, we're going to be getting along, but early on at that golf outing that Braylon and D-Mac were at, a question of golf etiquette was brought up on how to approach a scramble. And look at how annoyed Braylon gets with this. This is awesome.
He's always annoyed.
Be here. It's a great cause. And look, anytime that you can help support kids and, more importantly, opportunities for kids, I'm there. Shane, appreciate you.
You go every other one, though.
No, it's you two versus us in a two-man basketball.
Mac, I know that. I'm just saying we go every other player.
No, you don't. Your team goes. Your team goes in our... Can you tell him etiquette? He goes next. His team goes, then our team goes. If you win the hole, you get the box. Your team gets the box.
Etiquette? Damn, you'll come at me like that? Okay.
It's hole number 1, guys.
We want you to have the T1s today,
I didn't even do anything, man. Damn. We're good to go? We're good to go.
Hey, listen, it's about to be going off, but you can't, like...
I didn't even do anything. Why are you talking like
you
my
go,
father?
I go, you go, I go.
Why are you talking like you my father?
You have the tee. It's your honors.
I got you.
I want to take your honors until I earn it.
I'm done talking, man. Fuck this.
I wanted to see Mac hit that thing. Why don't you leave it on him?
Oh, Mac can drive the ball.
Hell yeah.
But I'm telling you, that Kenny Allen, that dude's a golfer.
He
but
could play?
that was the first hole, and those guys were going at it. And I'm telling you, when we got through 9 and they were even, the chirping really started. So it's going to be a fun day. I can't wait to see who actually wins that event. They're going to get a championship belt between the teams, whoever wins it. So good luck, fellas. But, Maz, we got some football to talk about, and not just any football. Dan Campbell Lions football, baby.
Yep.
You watched the game on Friday.
Yep, I went.
You went to the game?
I did.
Tell me this about the crowd there.
Yeah.
Because I saw a couple times Marcus Mariota, I even tweeted about this, Marcus Mariota having to go like this when he was at the line of scrimmage and trying to call out a new play. If the crowd is that nuts, was it as loud as I heard on TV, or was that just kind of me making things up in my head?
No, that crowd was ready to go. Probably half filled, maybe a little bit more than half filled. It was fun. The people were there. They were ready. And the opening sequence, when they come out of that tunnel and the PA announcer gets them going, it was just phenomenal. I was so happy to get to go there. It was like a last-minute thing. I'm sitting here at the show, and I'm like, how can I not go to the Lions game? It's their only preseason game at Ford Field this year. They head to Indy this week.
Yep, all week.
They leave tomorrow for tomorrow. They already had their practice today, or they're going through it as we speak. But the crowd was great. It was fun to be there. The first team looked pretty darn good. First couple times they had the ball. Hutchinson looked great coming out of the blocks. Malcolm Rodriguez gets the tackle right off that special teams, right off the get-go.
Yeah, I know the heavyweights were going nuts for that.
I was for them. I was rooting for this guy. And my wife liked him from the get-go from Hard Knocks. She's like, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh, that's Malcolm Rodriguez. He was doing the old Mexican dance on Hard Knocks. And he's a player, man. He might be small, but he ain't that small. No, he knows how to hit.
Dude is an absolute beast. I mean, he was a wrestler, and like his chest is this big. But yeah, those were a couple things that were like right away flashed at you. And I went on Twitter right afterwards, and I said that was actually, even though they lost the game, that was a perfect ending to that game for them. Because here's what I don't want out of the Detroit Lions, right? We're all feeling good about that. Everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid around here. I mean, we did high-low on their season and what they could do. And everybody, if things go right, everybody has pretty high expectations of this team. Yep. They got Hard Knocks coming in. You got the nation that's embracing you. They came out. First team played well, kicked some ass, did exactly what they were supposed to do on offense. We knew defense was going to be an issue, so that is what it is. But them blowing the lead at the end there, it wasn't the fairy tale ending. It wasn't like, oh, this is the year everything's going to work out for the Lions because we're on Hard Knocks. We got the momentum. To me, it was like a little bit of snapback to reality for them, to quote some Eminem, because they have to now go to practice today like they did, coming off a loss. Not coming off a, oh, we did it. Oh, yeah, the Lions are feeling good. It wasn't a blowout win. Like, the first team played well. That's what you want in a preseason game. You came out healthy. That's what you want in a preseason game. And I think they came out hungry. That's what you want in a preseason game. So I thought it was a perfect loss.
And it was. Now, I got in the car in the fourth quarter with about 8 minutes left. I hop in the car. And I'm putting the radio on. I hear Dan Miller, Lomas Brown. Lomas will be on with us in a little bit. And all Dan Miller said, oh, they just got the first down. He's like, hey, one more first down. They should have this game in hand. All they got to do is hold on to the ball. Next snap, Tim Boyle goes right through his hands. It was all on him. And it's unfortunate. And Atlanta got it like in a split second. I tried to rewatch the game last night. I kind of fell asleep on it. I have it on my DVR. I'll probably finish it up tonight. But Tim Boyle and David Blau. Excuse me, David Blau fumbled that ball, not Tim Boyle. My bad. David Blau and Tim Boyle, they got a lot of play. What'd you take out of the backup quarterback situation? Is it like we saw?
Yeah, nothing
I did
new.
say David Blau make a couple of good plays.
Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do in preseason, right? You're going up. I mean, there's a lot of backup quarterbacks that are doing okay in preseason right now. Our situation doesn't change. We're dependent on Jared Goff. We're dependent on our starting quarterback, if not more than just even with any other team in the league, because that's our guy. We need him. And I think we saw a little bit out of Goff. And actually, he was talking about the first drive and how they felt after the first drive. Fletch, you got this first drive video, Jared Goff on the opening drive, because it looked comfortable to me, and it felt comfortable to him, too.
Yeah, obviously the result was great. We scored a touchdown, but I thought we operated well. A couple mental errors there pre-snap, but for the most part operated well, made some plays, made a couple plays down the field and ran the ball well, and kind of what we intended to do from the jump, and we're able to do it.
And I like that. Just calm confidence out of our starting quarterback right there. And for those who don't know, it was kind of a big news story. Goff wasn't supposed to play in this preseason game. But he found out all 5 starting linemen were playing. He came like a leader. I love this. Came and said, I need to play with my guys.
He told Dan Campbell that.
Yeah, and to me it shows it's not only a starting 5. Can we include Goff? Is it a starting 6 up front now?
Yeah, they're happy about that. I mean, the offensive line actually talked. We had Taylor Decker, and we'll play that in a minute. But here is Dan Campbell talking about when Jared Goff went to him pregame and said, hey, am I playing?
I'll say this about Goff, man. I was proud of him. You know, we really didn't intend on playing him. And, I mean, he was the one he came in my office and said, I want to play. And I said, well, you're not playing. And he said, well, if they're playing, I'm playing. And I said, okay, you're playing. So I appreciate that about him, though. And, man, he went out there and ran that offense. And that's really what you're looking for out of your ones. You want to see them play fast, efficient, move it down the field, and score a touchdown, certainly, to finish out the drive. So I was pleased with them.
Excellent.
And if Dan Campbell's pleased, I'm pleased. And,
yeah.
and that's all it is.
Hey, it's preseason game number 1. They trimmed the preseason down to 3 games for a reason. Stay away from injuries. Unfortunately, we'll talk about the poor Jets later on today. They are the Detroit Lions of the AFC, by the way. But they got away with no injuries. And like you said, Jared Goff has made himself like one of those offensive linemen.
Yeah, and that's important, too. I mean, those guys, that's what they're there for. They will kill for Jared Goff. Most offensive linemen, they have laser focused, one deal in mind, and that is protect the quarterback, protect the quarterback, protect the quarterback, especially your left tackle, Decker. That's his job. That's his mission. That is his life's duty, is to protect Jared Goff. And I think he won some points with Taylor Decker playing in that game.
No doubt.
And then I think one thing that fired, I know, me up, Frank, a couple of other guys, I don't think Jared was even supposed to play today. And then he heard that we were playing the starting line, and he went to Dan and he said, I'm in, I'm playing. And that's, I mean, I love that. You want your quarterback to go out there. He's like, if my guys are out there, I'm going to go out there and compete. We're going to go right down the field and score. And that's what we did. So we were excited to get out there as a whole offense.
You can get that lunch bunch all together, and they want to block for you.
Yep.
They want to dominate. And I was listening to the game, and they did a nice job on Fox 2. And the announcers said, hey, this is going to be one of the top 5 offensive lines in the league. I know you read a lot of different things. Pro Football Focus had them not so high, but other media outlets had them really high. They got to be at minimum of a top 10 in the NFL. No doubt.
They showed it off on Friday. I mean, they were blowing people 3 yards off the ball every single play on those running plays. And, like I said, it's just great for Jared Goff to be one of the guys, man. And when you have a team like that, and we watched it in Hard Knocks, which, by the way, Hard Knocks After Party right here on Woodward Sports tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Make sure you tune in for that. But you just see this cohesiveness with the team, and it's spreading everywhere, and you love it. You absolutely love it.
Hard Knocks going to be all over that game, by the way. The Atlanta game.
Yep.
It's going to be some great video on that on Hard Knocks. HBO tomorrow night, 10 o'clock.
Well, we got more Lions to talk, especially Dan Campbell spoke today, so we got to get to what Dan Campbell had to say. Plus, Aiden Hutchinson, he may have set a record. Is being the best good? Is that high score good?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, high score is good. But first, let me tell you about our friends at the SMA, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help you if you are struggling with mental health or any addiction, because a lot of people go through it, and even if it's not you, there's somebody in your life that you may be able to help out. And it's real simple. Just send them to thesportsma.com. That is thesportsma.com. There is help.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right. A free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi. That is bigfrog.com/Novi.
It feels like you're getting 2 games in a week, 2 games in 2 days. You won't have all those reps, but yet we're going to get over 30 reps with our starters, against very good competition, full pads, and it's structured, between Frank and myself, man. We'll get all the looks we need to get, all the situations. It'll just be good, and they're a good team over there.
Love those Colts.
That is Dan Campbell talking about the week-long practice we have with the Colts going on. Welcome back to Woodward Sports. This is The Bottom Line, and that game is going on Saturday at 1 p.m., so they're going to have an entire week of practicing with each other. Reminds me of high school when you used to go have those crosstown practices, scrimmages against teams. We did it against Clarkson when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that where you went, Fletch? Yeah, St. Mary's used to scrimmage Clarkston when I was in high school. I don't know if they do that anymore. But
NFL's doing a lot of that. A lot of teams matching up with each other. So it's great. And plus it gives you forget the extra preseason game. That is like the extra preseason game, like Dan Campbell just said. It's like 2 games in 1 week.
And let's be honest, it gives our scouts kind of a chance to look at other players that may get cut, too. You get an up-close personal look, so that's a good thing. But Dan Campbell, he's excited for Indy this week. Also excited for Indy this week. They're taking off today, I believe, after practice. Their second preseason game on the way this Saturday. But talking about their first preseason game, the rookies showed out.
They did.
I mean, we talk about Aiden Hutchinson and what we expect out of this guy, the number 2 overall pick, and just how much, I don't want to say pressure is on him, but expectations are on him. And he came out, he could have been the number 1 overall pick. We all celebrated when he fell to number 2. Yeah. And the very first play of the game, he bit on the play action.
It's okay.
But then he recovered the very next play and got a tackle in the backfield. Nice little swim move, beating his defender and tackled for a loss. But you love to see the heart out of the kid. And then this comes across your screen. Pro Football Focus ranked him an 88. That is the highest defensive rookie grade out of the preseason games. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pop a bottle of champagne over that, but it's better than being the lowest rated, right? We got to start our expectations somewhere. And him being the top rated, I'm all for it.
There were a lot of good rookie showouts this weekend. I watched quite a few of the games on NFL Network. But Aiden Hutchinson, I got to see him up close and personal. Great swim move on that second play to sack for a loss. And then he does the Billie Jean dance after that as well. Did you see him get that little shake in? Yep, a little leg kick. And I remember Derek Barnes was on him right there, and they were just hugging it out and having a great time. You get that alpha dog on that line, and that's what we're looking for in Aiden Hutchinson. He was the number 1 pick here for a reason. That's what they wanted to do. Hey, I wanted a quarterback. We all know all of that. Stop laughing at me. I'll take Aiden Hutchinson right now to the bank, man. If we can, I'm telling you, go out and get Roquan Smith and put him on the other side, man. Oh, my goodness. I know I'm jumping ahead. I really do believe that that's a move that they can make on this team to get them really to that next level. But just take Aiden Hutchinson's 1 game. Terrific job. And by the way, I want to congratulate the people at Ford Field. They did a really great job on the in-game atmosphere there. Lots of music.
DJ Ray, you dig?
Yeah, it was like a Pistons game. And then the scoreboard to me was always like jumbled up. You couldn't really tell what the hell was going on. Well, they got new graphics now, nice and clean. I like it a lot, and I think they really stepped up their game for the fans. And the internet worked really well.
That's a major part. That's a major part of it. And I mean, Ford Field, even though it's 20 years old, I still like it when I go to Ford Field. I know it's a little stale, but it's supposed to feel like you're in the warehouse in the middle of Detroit. So they definitely accomplished that with the exposed brick and all that. But back to the play, like you were talking about with Aiden Hutchinson, it was good to see him recover after making a mental mistake on that first play. And then I think something that can't be ignored is there was a long run that got called back because of a holding penalty on Aiden Hutchinson. So it's not only how he's going to directly impact the play, it's stuff like that where he's more athletic than the guy guarding him to where they're going to be forced to hold him. And then he's going to affect the game in so many ways. They had him on the left, they had him on the right, and I believe they had him line up twice inside as well. So we're going to move this guy all around the defense. He was everything as advertised in that first game.
That's what you want out of your number one pick, man. You want him, like I said, to be the alpha on that defense. This defense has been a long time, long in the tooth, waiting for someone to really step up their game. I hope he's not a one-trick pony, two-trick pony like the word out of college was. I'm sure he's that smart. He's that strong. He's only going to get better. He's a baby.
Yeah, and
he's
those
only
short
going to get
arms,
bigger and better.
His short T-Rex arms really didn't come into effect. I
Not
mean,
yet.
He used them pretty damn well.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
the T-Rex arms, I like that.
Well, that's what everybody was saying. His
Yeah.
arms are too short to play in the NFL. Like, you're stupid, man. Like,
Yeah.
this guy is strong. His motor is never ending. And that's what I picked up from Hard Knocks watching it in the first week of that. When he was practicing, just hitting the bag, coming off, like slapping with his arms, he was giving it everything he possibly had. And that was just in practice. Flannel Sam, you watched the first preseason game. How you feeling after, let's just talk about first team, that first quarter?
I'm feeling pretty good about a couple people in particular. Aiden Hutchinson won. He put that swim move on Jake Matthews, a Pro Bowl left tackle, and made him look silly. It was unbelievable. Made the tackle for a loss. Was the highest graded first-round pick in week 1 of the preseason. Awesome. The offense looked about what you would expect it to at its highest end. The offensive line was like getting a push. DeAndre Swift had 4 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. That is a perfect drive for someone like him, and Jared Goff looked efficient. I think he was 3 for 4, 47 yards. That's exactly what you want from out of your offense, out of a first drive. Couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, man. I went and rewatched it because, like you, I record every game, and I watched because the first series I watched it just as a casual, like absorbing everything. Then I went back and I keyed in on the offensive line. I really wanted to see how they did, and then I went in and just watched the running backs, and they were clicking, man.
What'd you think of your boy Jamar Jefferson in the second half?
Jamar Jefferson, I mean, last year he was great before he got injured. I was a big fan of him coming out of college. I think he's one of the best zone running backs, like, potentially in the league. The way
What'd they get him, 6th, 7th round?
6th round.
Yeah.
6th round. It was a great pick out of Oregon State, like, just a really, really solid running back. Dan Campbell was high on a couple guys, too, coming out. One of them, Kirby Joseph. Another one, Malcolm Rodriguez. And he talked about both those guys right here.
Look, I would say Kirby showed up. I would say Kirby, didn't quite know where he was going to be at or what it was going to look like. And, we've been on his rear in practice. I mean, we've been pretty hard on him. And now he's needed it. But he showed up. I mean, the lights came on, and he did some things on special teams and on defense that is extremely encouraging, I would say Rodriguez didn't disappoint. He's got a lot of room for improvement, but yet you can tell that it's not too big for him, which is good. I think those are two guys that really kind of come to mind a little bit.
Yeah, so there he is, just talking about Malcolm Rodriguez making a play. You talked about that first play on special teams, which was a Vince Papale type moment.
Yep, he got right up and then went right into the defensive huddle after that. So if this guy, man, makes the team, and let's hope that he does. I know he will. But he's a wild card because these are the guys that Dan Campbell talked about. When they asked him on the depth chart, who are you going to keep? How many quarterbacks are you going to keep? Well, he said, look, if I can get a guy that's a really great special teamer and maybe give me 30 plays on defense, that's the kind of guy that's going to stick on this team. Now, last year, they didn't have these guys. They didn't have these guys that can do both, special teams, defense. This year, they have quite a few, and that's a good thing to have. Last year, they were just begging. They had to keep 3 quarterbacks last year because they didn't have anybody else. Yeah. Now, this is a better roster.
It's a tip of the cap, too, Brad Holmes, finding another late-round, 6th-round draft pick that's going to be functional on the team. We just talked about Jamar Jefferson. You talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown last year. Now we're talking about Malcolm Rodriguez. It's nice to know that no matter where we're drafting, we're at least giving ourselves a chance at actually having an NFL player, not blowing our 2nd-round picks on people who flame out in the
Tease
league.
Tabor, who actually played for Atlanta and had a couple tackles, but he's fighting for a spot on that roster too.
Well, another guy that people were paying attention to on the defensive side of the ball, Jeff Okudah. I think outside of Hutchinson, he's probably the number one story that you got to be looking at.
No doubt.
And Dan Campbell talked about Jeff Okudah as well, and here's what he had to say about Okudah.
Listen, he did some good things. It was encouraging. We came out of this game encouraged with Jeff. It was like, okay, this is pretty good. Just to see him get up there and press a little bit, challenge, and then, man, he's getting involved in some of these tackles. And so I would say we were encouraged. That's the best way to say it. It was encouraging.
That's good. I'm encouraged.
I'll take encouraged.
Hey, I saw number one on the field. The more you saw him, the better he looked. He's not gonna kill it right now. He's not. He's still trying to work into that position. But like I said, here's a guy to put a target on his chest. Give me number one. Give me number one. You know where he is now on that field, and I'm hoping and we're praying that he stays healthy and he becomes that number one pick that they made a couple of years back.
And if he cashes in, it's almost like fool's gold for us at this point.
At this
I don't
point,
want to say fool's gold. I guess just a gift to us at this point.
It's icing.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Yeah. Icing on the cake. That's probably a better way to put it, because we're not expecting it at this point. But if he can turn into even the semblance of a first-round pick, I'm not talking number 3 overall. Yeah. I'm just saying a first-round pick quality cornerback. This is going to be like stealing for the Detroit Lions.
Takes a while for cornerbacks to get going, especially when you haven't played in over a year.
Well, especially when you come into the league with an idiot head coach who doesn't know a damn thing about defense, apparently, and ships out his best cornerback. They bring you in, don't give you the tools. Jeff Okudah last season, before the season started, said, man, this coaching staff is giving me tools that I never had from the last one. And then he gets injured, unfortunately, so he doesn't get a chance to prove it. I think we're all rooting for him, and if we can cash in on that ticket, we're looking good.
Amen.
Yeah. So, Maz, tell us about Foaling when you're cashing in tickets.
Oh, man. Everyone loves to go to the Foaling Warehouse. I guarantee you it would have been a great spot if the Lions got to go to the Foaling Warehouse for Hard Knocks, right? If they're there, they'll ask for Chris Hunt. He invented this great game, football and bowling put together. Get the Hamtramck, and it got a couple of other locations as well. 2 ways to play, $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. You get it for a couple of hours. How about that? 2 hours on your own. You can put 10 or 12 people on that lane, costs you $120. Plenty of bars open, full bars there for you. Any drink you want. Want a Moscow Mule? Want a, tequila sunrise? That's still a thing?
Yeah.
How about over 100 beers to offer as well, and the $2 mystery beer machine. Bring your food in or have it delivered. Plenty of room to spread out and enjoy your lunch or dinner. How about it? Get your foal on. Check them out at foalingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Planet Fitness is inviting all high school teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long via the High School Summer Pass, and it goes all the way until August 31st. For everyone else, membership starts at only $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10. You can get the black card for $24.99 per month. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential.
It's essential. Welcome back to the bottom line right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Armani today. That is Maz being Maz, but sitting in Braylon's chair because you're not filling in. You're just in the chair, right?
Yeah, I'm just here. Just switch chairs.
I'm just here. And then, of course, Flannel Sam and Fletch is here. And we've been talking about the Lions. Obviously, that first preseason game last Friday. Looking pretty good for that first team O. And let's bring in the big fella who I know is absolutely enjoying the hell out of the hype that these offensive linemen are getting. Because big fellas love big fellas.
Number 75 himself.
Lomas Brown joins the show today. Hey, Lomas, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey, I love the way you say big fella. There's a certain way you have to say it. I love the way you say it, big fella.
Yeah, it's with respect, you know, like you a big fella, you know. You're not just some dude that takes up space. You're one of the big fellas with the footwork and the strength and the speed. But tell me, Lomas, because I went back and I rewatched that first drive, and I was watching these guys just blow people off the ball. How is it for you, being the experienced offensive lineman that you are, watching this?
Man, so excited. I'm so excited about what this group can get done this year. I'm so excited about what this offense will be able to do behind those big fellas. We're talking about Jared Goff and DeAndre Swift and just some of the weapons that they have now. So it's just so great to be able to have a quarterback that can be able to sit back, you know, and survey the field and make sure he's putting guys in position to have success. And it's going to be all predicated on those guys up front, what they get done this year.
Lomas, we had a little bit earlier today, Dan Campbell was on. He came out and he said, hey, Jared Goff wasn't even supposed to play in this game, but he insisted on playing in this game. And then we heard from Taylor Decker saying, man, we love a quarterback like that. He saw his whole offensive lineman ready to play, and he wanted to get out there. What do you take out of a quarterback like that as an old lineman yourself? Hall of Famer to be.
You do love that. Absolutely, Maz. You do love that. You love that that guy has that spirit, that competitive spirit, that he's a tough guy, want to be out there with his fellas. And that's all you look for. That's all you look for is your team to rally around your leader, which is Jared Goff, and he's doing a great job. You know, in this first year, he was probably getting used to a lot of different things, being in a new system, being in a new city, new teammates. He seems so much more comfortable and confident out there on the field, and that's a great thing. You could just kind of see it permeating throughout that offense, and not just the offense, even permeating throughout the team. So I'm happy that Jared is taking it to the next step, and I know Taylor and the rest of those guys were happy to hear that he wanted to play in that first preseason game.
We're joined by Lomas Brown, who does the radio voice for the Detroit Lions, along with Dan Miller, and it's got to be great working with Dan Miller. I mean, that guy, I've always said my entire life, like, I love Dan Miller. Nobody else could endure like Dan Miller has and still bring that heat every single game like he does.
I'm telling you, look, he makes a field goal sound exciting. You're like, oh my God, we just the field goal. I mean, the guy is great. To be honest with you, I just don't know why he doesn't get more national attention. He's been great for me over these last 4 or 5 years, and man, he makes my job so much easier, man. He's a pro, and my nickname for him is The Voice. He is simply The Voice.
I love that. Joined by Lomas Brown right here on the bottom line. Lomas, one of the questions I got for you, because you've been around this team a lot. I mean, obviously back when you were playing and you guys were actually making some noise in this city, and you've stuck around and you've witnessed everything that they've been through to get to this point. What's the energy shift, and what's it like in that building compared to what it was even 2-3 years ago?
Oh, man, it's just so different. I mean, credit to Dan Campbell and that coaching staff. I mean, you just see the competitive nature. You've seen that first episode of Hard Knocks, and you've seen Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn just going back and forth the whole time. And believe me, as a player, you like to see that fire out your coaching staff. You like to see those guys that they're invested in the way that they are. And it starts with the head coach. I think Dan, of course, you know, me and him played together for 2 years, so you know I'm impartial to that fella. I love the guy, but you just see the passion that he brings to each and every practice, and the players, they're taking on that, and that's normally what happens with your team. the player or your team normally takes on the personality of your coach. And, man, he's been doing a great job, him and his coaching staff.
Hey, Lo, go to the other side of the ball. Our number 1 draft pick, Aiden Hutchinson, didn't play a long time, but he made some noise in that first quarter at least.
Man, I tell you what, the fast twitch muscles on that guy and his change of direction to be so big and his relentless pursuit. I mean, those are the things that jumped out at me. And yes, man, the Lions hit it with Aiden Hutchinson. And I know that's just a small sample, and he's going to have his ups and downs, believe me. Every rookie does in the NFL. But I tell you what, with those intangibles that he brings to the game, he's going to be a force to deal with. And the good thing is, at being young as he is, opposing offenses will have to game plan for him. And that's a good thing. So I'm excited to see the growth of Aiden Hutchinson, but he gave us a small sample of what we're going to get this year.
Hey, Lo, might be a tough question for you. I'm just going to throw it at you anyway. Who does he compare to in your mind right now? Does anyone stick out that he kind of reminds you of? The guys maybe that you played with in the past or guys you've seen on the road?
Well, the easy comparison would be J.J. Watt. But I tell you what, if you remember Bryce Pop, he played outside linebacker and defensive end. That's right. Exactly right. Started with the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
He kind of reminds me of Bryce Pop, a strong guy, a long lean guy that can really move his body in different directions. And like I say, has that fast twitch muscle, which can go from one spot to another spot just like that. So that's kind of the Ram that he reminds me of. And you can throw in maybe a little Keith Millard, too. You can kind of throw that guy in, too.
I'd rather you throw in J.J. Watt and call it a day.
Yeah, just stop at J.J. Watt. Lomas, I don't know if you saw this during the game, but they did a little preview of this week's Hard Knocks, and Barry Sanders was walking the field talking about, I could get back out there. I could do this. You think Barry could get back on the field today and still be an effective running back?
Absolutely not.
Oh!
Hey, look. Hey, Barry forgot. I seen that commercial with him running up the bleachers. And look, he looked like he was struggling running up bleachers. So I don't know. Nah, I'm just kidding. I think B, if he puts his mind to it, he probably could. The little big fella, as I call him now, he might be able to get us a few yards. It won't be those 100 yards game. But he might be able to give us a 5-6 yard game when we need one.
Imagine the crowd reception if that guy just suited up for one snap.
Yeah,
that would be insane.
Oh my God. Hey, look, I might suit up for one snap if he suits up for one snap.
Hey, you're ready. You're in shape. He's been at Lefty's cheesesteaks too much. You know that. And he's talking to a guy that's been there too.
Visitation over there, man.
You know it, Lo. Hey, when I used to cover you guys back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000, I leaned over at Barry Sanders one time. He was at his locker. He's getting dressed. We're all around the locker. And I was up there, and I was a little sheepish at the time. And I looked down, I'm like, hey, Barry, sorry to bother you, but before I get my question out, he looked up at me and said, so why are you bothering me? with a smile on his face. I'll never forget that.
That sounds like me. That sounds like him. Look, he thinks he's a stand-up comedian. If you get to know Barry, he thinks he has a little stand-up comedian in him. I don't know who told him that, but he does think he's a stand-up comedian at times.
Well, Lomas Brown, man, thank you for joining us. We're all excited for the second preseason game. That first one, I think the first team offense gave us all that we wanted, right?
Absolutely. They really did. And I'm excited to see what happens from here out.
Hey, before we let you go, last thing. I'm always asking about the backup quarterback situation. What's your take on the backup quarterback situation?
Wow. I'm waiting for one of them to take that position. We really are. I mean, I thought that Tim Boyle started off real well and was kind of up and down on a few throws, had some open throws that he missed. And David Blau, when he got his opportunity in there, he moved the offense well, but those are costly turnovers that he had in the game. So I'm just waiting on one of them guys to say, hey, this is my job, I'm going to step up, and they're going to just take that job.
And now they're in Indianapolis this weekend playing against the Colts. I don't remember you guys doing like joint practices. Did you guys do joint practices?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. We went down, we put joint practice against the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
I've done it against several teams. The Los Angeles Rams, when they were in Los Angeles, before they moved to St. Louis. We went down there one year. So we did it. Wayne used to like to do that. Wayne would break it up, and he would take us, and we would do that against other teams. So, yeah, we did that a few times back with the Lions when I was there.
Is that a break that the Lions, like a team, would want because you're tired of beating yourselves up?
Thank you, Maz. Look, I was tired of looking at Jerry Ball.
Yeah.
I was tired of looking at William Gay. I wanted to hit somebody else. So, yes, you are ready to go find somebody else to hit. You get tired of hitting your same teammates over and over.
It's about that OCJ, man, the other colored jersey. You got to hit the other colored jersey.
Hey, man, we got to get you in the Hall of Fame. Is that going to be this year coming up?
Ah, man, I hope so, man. It takes us linemen. I guess it takes us linemen a little longer since we don't have some of the stats that those skill position guys have. But they forget that we're skill position guys too. So yeah, man, get the big fella in there. I'm ready.
We'll get you in, Lo.
Maz is starting the campaign, man. We're all gonna wear shirts for you, Lomas.
I got you.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. And anytime, Lomas, thank you so much. And thanks for what you did for the Lions too, man. Growing up watching you kick ass was one of my favorite memories. So thank you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys.
Talk to you later. Say hi to Herman for us.
I will. The Hermanator. I got
That's it, baby. All right.
That is the king of the line in Detroit. And you know what? Next time he's on, I got a question I want to ask him. I want to ask him which line he thinks is better.
Oh.
I think that. Ooh. But I want these guys to get some run,
they
right?
gotta get some run.
We're going to have them on. It's kind of a dead question.
Yeah, we're going to have them on
if you wait till mid-season and ask them, now we can have a real conversation because that was probably the best offensive line that the Lions have ever had.
Well, hell yeah. Look what Barry did behind him.
Yeah.
They made Scott Mitchell look good.
I don't know
Eric
about
Kramer.
that.
Yeah, he did have a couple damn good years.
But he was the king of the line and the king of the Corvettes. Les Stanford, baby. And that's where you got to go if you want a brand new vet or you got a lease that you just want to trade in because they are their lease experts as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn. And make sure you go there. Let them know that Woodward Sports sent you. We were out there doing a broadcast about 3 weeks ago. And, man, what a beautiful setup that they have. And all the people that work there were so nice, so friendly, and they will treat you the same. So go to Les Stanford. It's real easy to get to them. LesStanford.com. That's LesStanford.com. Find new roads.
Find them.
Find them.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. It's Monday. Who likes Mondays? Mondays are for the birds. But I know what you do like, our fun coupons. So you got to get over to that Woodward Bets YouTube page at 4:30 and check us out. You also got to get over to that App Store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at the sportsbooks right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get to those winners. Let's get to those fun coupons. Listen, I'm all over the Marlins today, and our boy Sandy, don't call me Sally, Alacantara. Musgrove's pitching for the Padres. They haven't won his last 8 starts. Oddstrader.com, Woodward Bets, check it out.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Welcome back to The Bottom Line right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. Braylon Edwards is out golfing. I haven't gotten a final update from that scramble, so we got to see who won that.
Maybe there was a brawl.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting matchup, too. Neil Rule
and D-Mac.
And D-Mac versus
Braylon
Braylon
against Kenny.
And Kenny Allen. Neil Rule's the weak link. I got to be honest with you.
Neil is KO'd in inside of 2 seconds.
So that's really just
so
D-Mac
it's 2
versus
on 1.
Braylon. Yeah. I'm never counting D-Mac out.
No, you can't.
I know that much.
You can't. He's unrivaled, as we say.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Good parlay there, Maz. Well, Maz, you guys like to do this, the NFL Roundtable,
Yes.
a bunch of questions. Sam, hit us with some upbeat music. Maz, ask the questions, and we can go around the ringer.
I certainly will. How about those poor Jets? Let's start there in New York. The Jets with Zach Wilson in his second year. Of course, their number 1 pick last year, top 3 pick in the NFL. He gets his chance opening weekend, and what happens? A non-contact knee injury. You could read that for me, brother.
Yeah, it says Jets quarterback Zach Wilson has a bone bruise and a meniscus tear and expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks. As Brian Kaz also reported, Wilson will undergo arthroscopic surgery to address and correct the injury. Jets considered it fortunate news. So 2 to 4 weeks, they're happy. He'll be back maybe in time for game 2.
Perhaps, but they're not positive yet. Robert Saleh has addressed the media a few times saying, we got to wait till they get in there and see exactly what that knee looks like.
I like their backup, though. White's not a bad coach.
White's great.
He's a great backup.
And they got Joe Flacco. I think Joe Flacco is getting the start for now. It's still preseason. It's still, practice time. We'll see how that goes. But the Jets, we always say the Lions rebuilding since 1957.
Yeah.
The Jets rebuilding since 1969. Not a hell of a lot better. They did win a Super Bowl, but they weren't in the NFL yet.
Yeah, but they got that moment. They got the Joe Namath moment, the wagging the finger. We don't even have that moment.
No.
I love the Lions, but I would want that for the Lions with the Jets right now. But
of course.
Either way, what you got next, Maz, on the round table?
All right, let's get to Deshaun Watson. We all know the Deshaun Watson story. All of these civil suits against him, all thrown out, most of them except one. He settles with most of these women, these victims. Supposedly, he's getting a 6-game sentence from Sue Robinson, the arbitrator the NFL hired to look at this. Finally, he is showing a little remorse towards what he did. And ESPN put that out over the weekend.
Yeah, for the first time, publicly apologized to the women who have accused him of sexual misconduct during massage sessions in an interview on Friday. And I watched this interview.
And we have it. You're going to get about a minute and a half of it with a Browns reporter. Here's Deshaun Watson and the Browns reporter.
Okay, Deshaun, as you get ready to get on the bus, let's just start with this one. It's been 19 months since you played a game of competitive football. How are you feeling about that?
I'm super excited. I'm excited to get out there with my new teammates and go out there and compete. Each and every snap, I want to make sure I cherish that because I'm not sure when the next time I'll be able to get out there with those guys. So I'm super excited.
As you say that, your eligibility is still in question, and although this appeal is ongoing, I have to ask you, the initial ruling from Judge Sue Robinson made a very specific point of saying that your lack of remorse played into her decision-making. It's been a part of the narrative surrounding you. What is your response to that?
Look, I want to say that I'm truly sorry to all the women that I've impacted in this situation. My decisions that I made in my life that put me in this position, I would definitely like to have back, but I want to continue to move forward and grow and learn and show that, I am a true person of character, and I want to keep pushing forward.
Grow and learn. We fully expect that there will be some time that you are away from the team. What does your growth on a personal level look like? How are you spending that time?
I know I have a lot of work to put in, especially on the field, to be able to make sure I'm ready to play whenever that time comes, whenever I can step back on the field. But also, the biggest thing is I want to continue counseling, and I want to make sure that I'm growing as a person, as an individual, for my decision-making on and off the field, and I want to make sure that, I'm just evolving in the community as much as possible, and that's for the Cleveland community, that's the NFL community, and beyond.
Okay, we appreciate the time, Deshaun.
Thank you.
The reporter was Aditi Kinkabwala, CBS Browns reporter. I want to ask you this, Dick.
Yeah.
Two-parter. A, do you believe him? B, is it too late?
Do I believe him? Yeah, I'm sure he's remorseful in some
But he wasn't
aspect.
remorseful up till that.
Well, because it was denied, it's denied till you die, baby. And it went through the court system and all that, then it came out. Now he can be remorseful because the minute he's remorseful, he's also admitting guilt, right?
Yeah.
So you can't admit guilt if you're fighting for your innocence. And even the way he worded it really didn't seem like a full apology to me. It was just like, I'm sorry for the people I affected. And affect can be anything, right? Like, affect can just mean that she was afraid to go to work, or, you know, like the women that heard of this think differently of him. He wasn't really saying, I'm sorry if I, like, hurt you or anything. It's just, I'm sorry I affected you. To me, it was a light apology, but I don't expect anything else. I don't expect him to admit he did what he did at this point. He's going to get away with whatever suspension it's going to be. They say 6 games. They want a year. It's tough to give somebody a year when there's absolutely no proof and the law hasn't found you guilty of anything. So I don't know. It was an apology, but it just is what it is.
Fletch, put up the next tweet, because it is going to be a year, Fletch. I mean, Stick.
You think so?
Take a peek at that.
A source tells PFN that a full-year suspension for the Browns quarterback is a slam dunk. We're currently waiting to hear the decision from former New Jersey Attorney General Peter C. Harvey.
So
okay,
that leads me to my next question to you. If he does get a year suspension, and it's looking like he is. By the way, he only completed 1 pass in that game against Jacksonville.
He looked awful.
He was not good. And the Jacksonville fans were merciless.
As they should be.
I mean, merciless against him. I would love to play game sound, but we're not allowed. But you should have heard what they were saying. And the Browns together have said, it looks like it's the Browns against the world. Forget Detroit against everybody. They're saying it's Browns against the world.
I mean, when you hire a guy that's been accused of molesting or masturbating in front of 26 other females, you're going to get some haters. Like, be self-aware, Browns. You knew what you were doing when you brought this PR nightmare in. You traded for a guy that was under investigation for sexual misconduct. And now you're shocked that people are booing you on the road? Shut the hell up, Browns. Win some games. Do something different.
Leads me to my next question. Should the Browns trade for Jimmy G?
No, because they got to pay Deshaun $40 million next year.
They have to play the season. They have a Super Bowl ready roster.
They've already given up on the season.
No, they have a Super Bowl ready roster.
Yeah, but first of all, they don't have the assets or the money to go get Jimmy G, do they? I mean, if they do,
could.
What are you going to do? Go get him for a rental for 1 year? I guess you can do that, but you're hurting yourself. You got Jacoby Brissett. He's been a starting quarterback in the NFL. You were hoping Deshaun got maybe 4 to 6 games. He may not. You got to ride it with Brissett. If you knew that you were going to need a quarterback, you should have kept Baker Mayfield, because you got nothing for him.
Well, he didn't want to play for them
anymore. Who cares? Get out there and play. I'm paying your ass. I don't care if you don't want to play. You're under contract, son.
Sam, you're the Browns. Are you trading for Jimmy G?
If I can feasibly do it, I would, because this is a Super Bowl roster, and Jimmy Garoppolo is the type of quarterback who, if you give him a good roster around him, he can take you places. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and that offensive line.
Hell of a team.
That is a very good team, and this could. You don't want to waste it. Those two guys in their offensive line are in their prime, and if you put Jacoby Brissett out there, you're just punting on the season, in my opinion. I think if you can make it happen, do it.
Here's another part to that. Jimmy G, supposedly, when he signed his big contract with San Francisco, he pulled who did I want to say? He pulled an Eduardo Rodriguez. Remember Eduardo Rodriguez didn't call the Tigers back?
Yeah.
Put this one up there, Fletch. Jimmy G ghosted John Lynch and the 49ers. After he signed his contract, he did not return a call or a tweet or a text from his teammates.
Yeah, there it is from Pro Football Talk. Jimmy G reportedly ignored coaches weeks and weeks after getting his big contract in 2018. I mean, he was probably on a bender on an island, just having a harem around him and mass orgies. That's Jimmy G, man.
He dated a porn star, a couple of them.
Where do you think he was for? If I got paid that much money, I looked that good, and I'm banging porn stars, you think I'm returning any calls for weeks?
Well,
hell no.
Come on, man.
Hell no. Thank you for the check. I'm gonna be on my island.
You're a professional, man.
I'm trying to master another game at that point.
Did you get a chance to look at Trey Lance at all this weekend?
Yeah, look good.
He looks pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
Man.
I don't think Shanahan's going to pull that trigger if Trey Lance isn't the guy.
All right, Sam, do you play fantasy football, first of all?
Yes, I do.
I know Stick does.
Yes, sir.
Would you draft Trey Lance as your starting quarterback in fantasy football?
Yeah.
Yes, I would, because of what he could offer in the run game. He has a great roster around him, great weapons. I think he could put up some fantasy numbers for sure.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be a multi-dimensional. The only thing is they don't have very many explosive wide receivers, so I'm not expecting big plays out of them. But yeah, Debo's more of a get him in space, check down guy, right? And the same thing with Kittle across the middle. Those two things are gonna be his go-to all season long.
All right, here's the last one of the day. Tom Brady, as we know, last week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers announced that he was going to leave camp, maybe 2 weeks, maybe more. And they did not give a reason. They said it's personal reasons. This was on Friday. Devin White, of course, from those Buccaneers, talking about Tom Brady, his teammate.
You know, he's a human. At the end of the day, you know, he got personal problems going on, but he's a guy that he's been doing this so long, he don't need to be here. You know, if he's not here, we know he's still working. You know, he got a great supporting cast around him, and he going to get his work in, whether, you know, if he here or not here. So when he come back, he'll never miss a beat, and that's the only important thing, you know. But more than football, you know, we praying for whatever he got going on as a human being, and, you know, we hope everybody else do too. And, I mean, that's all we ask for him is for his well-being. You know, football comes second. You know, him being a human come first. On the inside, we know what's going on. We know our quarterback good. You know, we just praying for him and, you know, letting him handle his business, and we'll continue to grow as a team. You know, and he's here with us in spirit.
Well, there you go. And today, that's the tweet from Tom Brady saying family time.
Where's his kid with that other chick? Is she in the picture too?
Yeah, he's
Everybody
in
got
the
Bridget
oldest,
Moynihan
his oldest
pregnant
son.
at the same time.
His oldest son.
Okay.
His oldest son.
Good for Tom Brady. Good for you, buddy.
How about that?
I got a conspiracy theory about this.
First of all,
Hot take coming through.
I thought he was taking time off to be with his mom, like in California, because she was sick years ago. So I, of course, went to that, and I said maybe his mom is ill, and he's spending time with her. I'm glad that's not it.
Yeah, I know they investigated a lot into the Dolphins and their collusion and tampering. Tom Brady was definitely a piece of that. So, this may be kind of like the conspiracy theory about why Jordan went to play baseball, a suspension from the NBA, but they didn't want to say it was a suspension from the NBA for gambling.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, of course.
This may be, hey, you were involved in this. You need to take a couple weeks off. We're not going to announce that this was a suspension, but what we're going to say is you need some family time. May bleed over 1 or 2 weeks into the season because we got to suspend you a couple games if you were involved, because look what we're doing to the GM. That was a part of this as well. Does that make zero sense to anybody, or does that kind of make sense to people?
I like where you're going, but I don't think they can do that. Only because if he does deserve a suspension, they have to say you're suspended.
That's Tom Brady, though. That's Tom Brady, though.
I know.
You don't do that to Tom Brady. What do you think, Sam? Is that plausible?
Oh, it's certainly plausible, because when that whole thing went down, Tom Brady seemingly got off scot-free, and I was kind of wondering, why the hell does this guy get away with everything? This is kind of unplanned. We didn't expect it, and now it looks like he's just hanging out with his family. There might be something to that. Where there's smoke, there's fire, Now,
Tom Brady, did you guys know that Tom Brady is the only NFL player to be involved in the loss of 3 first-round picks? Spygate, Deflategate, and now the Dolphins and Buccaneers and tampering game with Stephen Ross. That is a fact. The only player to be in charge, to be involved in all 3 losses. It's the only time a team has lost a first-round pick were those 3 times.
And you're telling me they wouldn't cover up a 2-game suspension for him?
Maybe.
No, they totally would.
Maybe.
That's what's going on, man.
You just don't think Giselle said, look, if you're going to play, we already had this vacation planned, pal. You got to do the vacation. You don't think that was it?
At this point, I don't think he gives a damn what Giselle says. He came back and played after he retired because he wanted to spend time with Giselle. But the retirement was only to get out of his contract so he could go to Miami.
Aha!
Aha! And that's exactly what happened. He retired to get out of his contract so then he could go to Miami. That fell through. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to Tampa Bay. You guys are investigating a little bit too much. And I love Tom Brady, but this is just we're not stupid here, right?
You weren't here the other day when I brought up the fact that he was supposed to go to the New Orleans Saints to take over for Drew Brees. Drew Brees told Sean Payton in 2020, I'm done, I'm finished. Brady was supposed to come over, hook up with Sean Payton, for one run before Peyton retired and before Brady retired, and then maybe he could have went and owned the team. But then guess Drew Brees said, I changed my mind. So that's why Brady went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How about that?
Yeah, see? So there's a lot of intertwinings to this story, but yeah, to me that's what's really happening. Tom Brady on vacation. Nice. Enjoy your quote-unquote vacation. We'll see you a couple games into the regular season.
I think it's going to hurt the Bucs, to be honest with you. I do.
It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. It doesn't matter. The
he doesn't have a center anyway.
The Bucs can lose their first 2-3 games and be fine. They'll make the playoffs.
Maybe he's waiting for them to get a new center because they lost 2 centers already.
There
One's
you go.
an All-Pro.
Don't come after Frank Ragnow, please.
No.
Well, Tom Brady not looking good. You know why? Because he didn't go to Lady Jane's to get that wicked, awesome haircut. And I'm telling you.
But he still looks good.
Yeah, Dream Cruise is going on this weekend. It's happening right here on Woodward, right behind me. And you can come to Lady Jane's, get your haircut, and watch all the beautiful cars rolling by. Plus, hang out with us because we're going to be giving away tons of stuff, including that Gypsy golf bag over there. But make sure you go to Lady Jane's so you got your hair looking perfect. You sit down, you get treated like a king. You know why? Because it's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Ooh, Odds Trader. You're looking for the best lines on all the games that are happening. Make sure you go to oddstrader.com because that's what they can do. They go through all the sites, compile the best lines so you get your very best bet. They also have an app that you can download conveniently right to your mobile device. It's Odds Trader, the bet station. Go to oddstrader.com today for your best bet. Welcome back to the Bottom Line on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani. That is Maz sitting in Braylon's seat today. Braylon is out golfing along with Darren McCarty and Neil Rule. We have not got an update on who won that, but I'm waiting to hear. Flannel Sam is in the booth, making sure we sound good on audio. And then, of course, Fletch over there in TD land, making sure everything happens, like the graphics go up, the videos get played, the back wall gets changed.
Yeah.
Like Fletch got a lot going on
He
over
does.
there, man.
He's got a full thing over there. Full screens.
It is a tough job in that little booth. But let's talk about some college football. We spent a lot of time on NFL. College football, a lot of the top 25 polls are being released. The new college football AP top 25 is out right now, and let's take a look at it here. You got Alabama at number 1, Ohio State number 2, Georgia number 3, Clemson number 4, Notre Dame number 5, Texas A&M number 6, is at Oklahoma at number 7, Michigan at 8, Oklahoma again. So that must be Utah. Or who is that at number 7?
One's Utah, one's Oklahoma.
Okay, Utah at 7, Oklahoma at 9, and then, of course, Baylor wrapping up the top 10. If you're watching on YouTube, you get a nice look at the preseason top 25 there. And then you flip over to Fox's college football. R.J. Young, he came out with his top 25.
You ready for this one?
Yeah. Let's flip that over. You got Alabama, you got Ohio State, you got Texas A&M, you got Georgia, you got Utah, you got Notre Dame, Michigan State at number 7.
That is blasphemous.
And there's someone missing.
You got Baylor at 8, Arkansas at 9, Clemson at 10, and nowhere in the entire top 25 is the University of Michigan.
R.J. Young. I mean, come on, man. Are you kidding? Michigan's top 7 in every single poll. This guy throws them out completely. And he puts MSU. It had to be a mistake, right? Maybe he meant Michigan at number 7.
I don't know. Can we get him on to talk about this? Because it is very strange to me that you have Michigan State ranked and you do not have the defending Big Ten champions ranked. But as we know, I mean, people are on that Michigan State bandwagon. Like, Michigan State had a great year last year. Tuck coming. Tuck getting the recruits, which, by the way, Spartan Dog for Life show is coming up this week. Matt Ishbia is going to join them.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be nice to hear from Ishbia, which I forgot Ishbia played basketball.
Can we ask him if he could just maybe buy the Tigers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can ask Matt Ishbia if he can buy anything.
Well, he would.
Yeah.
If he was able to.
Except the only person like you can't ask him against is like Elon Musk and a couple guys like that. Other than that, Matt Ishbia can buy pretty much any damn thing he pleases. And good for him. Congratulations on your business. But yeah, Michigan State being ranked in the top 25, Michigan not. Sam Flannel, gotta hear your opinion on this because I know you're a diehard Michigan guy.
I mean, it must be some sort of mistake because Michigan State, they lost their best player, a guy who I believe beat Michigan by himself in K9, and they lost Jalen Naylor as well. And Michigan, they have a lot of talent coming back. That offense, Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, hopefully J.J. McCarthy is starting. They have offensive linemen returning. They have the weapons, Andrell Anthony, Ronnie Bell returning, Cornelius Johnson, A.J. Henning, Roman Wilson. And with that schedule, I think they're going to be undefeated going into that Ohio State game, be 11-0. So, and I just don't see how you can conceivably have that opinion. Sometimes I can, like I'm not going to kill them other years, but this year I'm like, there is no way in hell that you can have Michigan State 7 and Michigan unranked in any poll in the world.
Michigan unranked, period, and MSU up that high. It's. He had to have made a mistake.
Wasn't Michigan unranked to start last season?
They were both unranked.
And where did Michigan wind up last season?
They won the Big Ten.
So
and lost in the playoff.
Maybe that's kind of his like Jedi mind trick. He's trying to be like, hey, it worked for us last season. Let's try it again.
I don't think so, but I will be calling this guy and see if we can get RJ Young on. Usually he's rock solid college football on Fox. He's got his own podcast going on. He covered the USFL as well, but usually he's right on top of things. But this one I think he kind of reached and really missed. But Alabama, of course, the consensus number 1. Georgia, the consensus number 2. Here's a stat for you. Since 2004, the preseason top 7, the national champion has come from the top 7 of the preseason poll. How about that? The national champion since 2004 has been ranked in the preseason top 7. So if you're in that top 7 and Utah's in that top 7,
who's top 7 though?
The APs? Yeah, the
APs. Okay,
yeah,
I was
the
gonna
AP.
Say. All right,
not the coaches poll, the USA Today poll.
Okay,
but the AP poll, where everything is put in, all the riders, everything is in on that one. But since 2004, we're talking 18 years straight. The national champion has come from that preseason top 7.
Man, I cannot wait for Michigan and Michigan State to play this year. I thought last year's game was amazing. Even though, listen, I don't have a card in this game, right? Like, I didn't go to Michigan. I didn't go to Michigan State. I grew up here in Michigan. When I was in 3rd grade, my 3rd grade teacher was a Michigan cheerleader, so I fell in love with the fight song because I had a little crush on her. But then come the college years, spent a lot of time up at Michigan State, and that kind of won me over through the college years.
That usually makes the Michigan State fan. The parties up at Michigan State. Like my brother-in-law, he didn't go to either one of those schools, but since he partied at MSU, that's his school.
Yeah.
People call them Walmart Wolverines. What are we going to call? Drunk MSU fans?
They're Speedway Spartans.
There you go, Speedway Spartans.
Speedway Spartans. You never heard that term?
No, I never did.
Yeah, that's the contradictory to the Walmart Wolverine. Okay. It's a Speedway Spartan.
I see.
And so yeah, I don't really have any stake in this game, but I just love when these two.
How do you not have stake in this game growing up here? You didn't pick one team or the other?
No, I just told you why. Like, I guess if I lean towards anything, it would be Michigan just because they had better programs back. Like I got to watch Charles Woodson. I got to watch Tyrone Wheatley. I got to watch those guys, Braylon Edwards. But, as I grew up, no, man, the state was fine with me.
All right.
I support both those schools. I went to University of Detroit. They sold their football team in like 1957 and built a building.
Yeah.
Then they got rid of their baseball team. So, like, the University of Detroit has taken away the sports I love from that collegiate thing. But, we do have women's softball there. There is a soccer team. There is lacrosse. There is basketball. And when I was there, Rashad Phillips was
there. You got Callahan, man.
Callahan Hall.
Love it.
kind of a train wreck, but also a great place to watch a game.
It is.
I love going to Callahan Hall.
It's historic.
All the PSL and the Operation Friendship games are there, so I've been going down there.
Don't forget Dickie Vitale Court.
Dick Vitale used to coach U of D. Which is awesome. But back to the Michigan State thing. Yeah, Michigan's got to be in the top 25. You're almost discrediting yourself if you're not putting them in your top 25 this year. Because back to Flannel Sam's point, I am a huge Donovan Edwards fan. I think he could lead the nation in rushing this year and lead the nation in all-purpose yards, because you saw last year when they used him out of the backfield, he caught 10 balls that game quick and made it real fast.
He's a unicorn.
Are you shaking your head that he could lead the nation in running?
Oh, it's going to be Blake Corum.
No, I'm hoping so. That would be amazing. Yes, it was that game against Maryland. He had 10 catches for like 170 yards. He is that guy who is that great all-around running back. I said a few weeks ago on a show that I could see him being the most highly touted Big Ten running back coming out of college since Saquon Barkley. And I stand by that. I think that guy's just got like elite talent. Just all-around complete running back. He's like Boobie Miles in Friday Night Lights. And he can pass, and he'll get you the Gatorade too. It's just... He's the guy, besides J.J. McCarthy, who I'm most excited to watch this year for Michigan.
Yeah. To me, alone, him running the ball puts them in the top 25. Like, having that weapon at running back.
That offense.
Show some damn respect,
I mean,
RJ.
Sam just rattled off that offense.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal offense. Not many teams are going to be able to stop that team from scoring 30-plus points.
Right. You know what else is phenomenal?
What?
The tan at Chili Peppers. That deep, dark tan. Tell them about it, man.
There's 2 right here on Woodward Avenue. 27 locations and more on the way. The cleanest salons in the D, and if you join the Pepper Club, that's where you get the cleanest salons in the D, the Pepper Girls themselves, and they're going to save you $5 against any competitor on unlimited tanning and more of those great tanning deals. The best tan in the D. That's right. The hottest deal, the hottest bulbs, and the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters. It's ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
There he is, the big boy. It's ciabatta, summer salads, and hand-dipped shake. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, a chicken cordon bleu, or a chicken Caesar Greek salad. Keep it light with that Michigan apple salad, too. And don't forget, get those sandwiches on that grilled ciabatta bread. It's delicious. Trust me. Don't forget to cool off with a nice hand-dipped shake. How about cookies and cream? That's Sam's favorite. Strawberry. That's Braylon's favorite. Chocolate. That's my favorite. And you saw me live on camera sipping one of those down a few weeks ago. You heard it here first. Summers just got better at Big Boy.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for joining us and being a part of the show today. Everybody in the chat, Mike G, you've been cracking me up all day. Joey 2 times, got to show love to you. Jay Washington, Tariq, Nicholas, and everybody else. Make sure you drop a like and make sure you subscribe to the Woodward Sports Network. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up this football season, so you're going to want to be subscribed so you can witness all this stuff in real time. Or if you're busy, you can always go back and rewatch it again. That's what we love about these recorded shows and bringing things into the digital era, Maz. We love it.
We do, and I'd love it if this microphone stayed down. Otherwise, I got to get taller.
Yeah, sit up straight, man. Work on your posture. There you go.
I don't sit up straight. I'm sitting up straight.
It's adjustable. See, look, mine will stay.
Okay.
All right. Well, Maz, let's talk about how the NFL just absolutely dominates every other facet of sports entertainment.
What now?
Because the NBA tries, right?
It does.
The NBA tries. And traditionally, Christmas basketball is an NBA thing, right?
Well, it used to be.
Every Christmas, that was part of it. At least in my family, it was on in the background. They'd always display LeBron's bitch ass every single Christmas. I'd have to watch LeBron James. But either way, the NBA kind of cornered the market on Christmas.
They did. Merry Christmas to the NBA. They dropped their schedule yesterday. Let's take a quick look at it. I don't think the Nets are on this schedule, by the way.
So we're looking at the Christmas Day schedule. You have Miami, Boston, Phoenix, and the Knicks. Philly and the Knicks. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Phoenix and Denver, Lakers and Dallas, and of course Memphis and Golden State.
I know Jeff Iafredi and Sean Murphy and the kids in the back.
Kool-Aid,
B. They all loving that NBA schedule. But guess what? I think Christmas is on a Sunday this year.
Yeah,
Am I that?
And Christmas is on a Sunday.
Who owns Sundays?
Well,
besides church.
And I want to add on to this too. Because the NBA tried to own Christmas Day, and New Year's Day has been reserved for NCAA bowl games,
yes,
essentially,
college
right?
football.
College football, that's what you do. New Year's Day, you wake up hungover and you watch some bowl games.
Correct.
Well, New Year's Day is on a Sunday this year,
yes.
too.
Who's going to own that?
NFL is taking everything from everybody, and they don't give a damn because they just dropped their Christmas Day schedule, and here's what it looks like. Packers at Dolphins at 1 p.m.
Yes.
Broncos at Rams. You're talking Russell Wilson and Matty Stafford at 4:30.
Oh, man.
Buccaneers and Cardinals at 8:20.
Look at that one.
Where am I going to fit in basketball?
You're not. What's the first game? What time is the first game?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? No, sorry. You can get a noon tip. First game, Boston, whoever the hell they're playing. That you can watch the first half of that game. Then you're switching the channel and you're putting on the NFL. There's this no question about it. And next year, buckle up. Never mind Thanksgiving football, but it's going to be Black Friday football on Amazon starting next year in 2024.
Absolutely.
They are just cornering the market. And Amazon went and hired Al Michaels. And who'd they get for the color commentator? It'll come to me in a second. Kirk Herbstreit. Those are going to be your guys for Amazon football, Thursday night football, but they'll have Black Friday football next year.
Fletch, can you throw a poll up in the chat to see what are you going to watch Christmas Day? Are you going to watch basketball or are you going to watch football?
This should be 90 to 10.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, we got basketball fans.
All right, 80-20.
I'm both. Like, those are my two favorite sports to watch. So it's one of those setups where you're going to want multiple screens in your house.
80-20. What's your guess?
Yeah, I'm right in that ballpark, like 75-25.
Okay, maybe that high, huh?
Yeah, it's got to be that high.
When he puts it up, I will be putting my vote in, by the way.
What are you putting your vote in?
Well, come on.
Football?
I'm a football junkie.
Sam, you football?
Oh yeah, football, and mainly and I'm a guy who loves NBA and loves watching it on Christmas, but especially now in the NFL, there's going to be playoff races. These games might have some stakes, and those early season NBA games just don't have the kind of stakes, so that puts it over the top for me. Definitely NFL.
I just voted. Thank you, Fletch.
Yeah, looking at the votes right now.
Get on that YouTube.
94-6.
Get on it,
94-6.
Everybody vote.
And with the NFL, what do you do, though? Those games fall on a Sunday this year.
Yeah.
You can't just say, all right, well, we're going to play all Monday night games. You trample the NBA, and
they
that's
will
exactly
play
what
Saturday.
they're doing.
They're going to play Christmas Eve, which is that's a toughie. Christmas Eve, and there will be a Christmas Eve night game. Did you know that?
I love that.
But come on, a night game on Christmas Eve, that's a no-no.
Perfect. Go to bed or Santa won't come because Daddy's going to go watch some football.
You son of a gun. You wait. You wait till you have little kids running around. Then you won't be saying the same thing.
Yeah, to me, it's just another night, man.
You're a bachelor.
So, like, I'm usually getting drunk on Christmas Eve.
You're a bachelor.
I am a bachelor.
You are a bachelor.
It's been a good time.
Sam, are you going to watch NFL on Christmas Eve, or are you going to be singing Christmas carols?
Oh, I'm going to be watching NFL for sure. I mean, anytime there's NFL on, I will be watching it. And Christmas Eve, like I said, I don't have kids yet, so to me, it's still kind of a free night for me. My fiance, well, I'll probably put it on while she's going to sleep. Perfect.
Really? Is that going to make you watch the Yule log?
No, we're good. We've got a good situation going. I'll be able to watch football that night.
Now, let me tell you something, guys. I would love to watch the game, but I'm really not allowed to watch the game.
What is allowed? You're the man of the house, Maz.
It's Christmas Eve. We're visiting family. We're eating dinner. We're traveling. Our kids are all
Get a
dressed up
migraine,
nicely.
stay home.
I can't on Christmas Eve. I cannot. I can't do it. I mean, I feel so guilty watching a football game on Christmas Eve. I do.
Yeah. Well,
I'll try to slip in a little bit here and there if I can.
I will be watching it harder than for the both of us because I'm definitely committed to that. Like during COVID, remember when they had to adjust the schedule? It's like, hey,
Wednesday football?
All of a sudden the Steelers are playing Wednesday night. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this team's playing at 4 p.m. Oh.
I remember the game, Washington and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I love it.
They should stagger that all throughout the season, like football, just random times, like random pop-up football games.
Oh, my God, would I love that.
That was so good during, like, out of everything that happened during COVID, that was positive. And I'm not here saying good things happen because of COVID, but that was positive, as I got to witness football on a Wednesday, on a Tuesday,
the MAC
on a
was
Monday.
pissed, though.
Huh?
Maction was pissed. The MAC had Tuesday night football to themselves.
Ooh.
And they trampled the poor MAC for crying out loud.
There's a reason you have Tuesday night football, because no one's effing watching on Tuesday. I like the MAC, but come on, guys. We know Maction takes place on Tuesday because you couldn't compete with the big boys on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, they're trying, right?
Yeah, no, it's
trying.
You go fish where the fish are.
They'll have their own league. They'll have their own NCAA football league one of these days because, let's face it, the Power Five has just been taking over this thing.
Yeah. Well, looking at the poll right now, what are you watching Christmas Day? 95% NFL. And I got to be honest, I put NBA just so it had one vote. So I may be the only person swaying this whole damn vote. But yeah, lots of people going to be watching Christmas Day. Maz will not be watching Christmas Eve.
Well, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Nice.
In between church, dinner, and I don't know, looking where Santa is on the map. There's an app for that, by the way.
I know. I love that.
Yeah.
I love Santa tracking.
Santa tracker.
Well, it's the Summer of Syntron. It's August, and the Summer of Syntron's wrapping up, but that doesn't mean that your enjoyment of the product has to as well. Pre-order your limited edition 6-pack right now. Go to CintronWorld.com/Red Wings, and you'll get this limited edition pack with the Red Wings logo on it right there. Pretty awesome. And you know what? If you get it, you can even bring it in, and we'll have Darren McCarty sign it for you. So how about that? I'm offering up Darren's services without even telling him, but he will. He's a good guy. He'll sign it for you. So you go, order a pack right now, CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All summer long, the Monroe Street Midway is open in downtown Detroit. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everyone between the ages of 1 and 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info. That is deckedoutdetroit.com.
Welcome back to the bottom line right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. Tom Mazaway on the desk. Flannel Sam, you just heard from him. And, of course, Fletch is here. And Tiger season, kind of a dumpster fire. But, you know, we still got some questions. We still got some things that we can talk about.
They've lost 7 straight.
That's it?
9 out of 10.
I remember
when
when
30 games under 500.
I remember in May, Fish told me they were going to get back to 500, and I just laughed.
Ain't gonna happen.
And I was one of the last to jump off this Tiger ship too. Like I was like, hey, mathematics, they could still pull it out. Remember what happened last year? They went on a great second half of the season. This year, not the same. But let's join right now by Lynn Henning, longtime Detroit news columnist. Lynn Henning. How frustrating has this season been to cover?
Hey, Mr. H.
Well, fortunately, guys, I'm allegedly retired.
You are.
I pretty much am. Yeah. And I actually live on St. Simon's Island, Georgia, but I follow all the games, and of course I'm on the phone lines all the time with people. And so I stay as close as I would be if I were in the press box in that sense. And also caught him a couple of times in spring training, and so there's all that going on. Plus, I cover the minor leagues, so just to fill that in just a little bit for you.
Appreciate that.
But this season had every right at the outset to really be an improvement, something that would get them closer to 500, which I thought would be a pretty good, significant incremental step this year, you might say. And that was within the capacity, I think, for this roster when things started. And then, of course, we saw what happened. They lost 4 outfielders. They lost 4 of their 5 rotation. But more than that, some guys who should have been hitting absolutely stopped and haven't come close to resuming this year. And what it did, guys, is it showed how threadbare actually the roster was. They overachieved last year, and there was an expectation that that was probably going to continue this season. And it wasn't a baseless thought or assumption, because those guys did have track records. But what you've seen is the frailty of the talent on that roster and the fact that it's just not populated with enough good players to get you close to 500, let alone to a playoff opportunity. And so that's how GMs get fired.
Mr. H, talk about the GM, and it's Al Avila was relieved of his duties last week. It's taken a while. He's been there since Dave Dombrowski's right-hand man. It just didn't work out for him. I mean, let's face it, the beginning of the tenure, you knew they dumped. I mean, they got rid of players. They stripped down to the nuts and bolts. But he just did not do enough right with free agency. And a lot of these guys that they drafted, including all these arms, the injuries have just piled up. It just piled up on Al Avila. What went wrong, and did they keep him too long?
No, I give you, Maz, a different answer from most of the pundits and most of the fan base. Where I think this team has failed, and ultimately the GM, by the way, is accountable for this, but where they have failed is with their domestic drafts and with their international signings, period. It hasn't been payroll. It hasn't been a matter of trades. It hasn't been free agency. They have failed in developing enough core talent over 7 years that should have been coming up through the farm or coming from Latin America, etc. Too few of those players. What do they got? Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson, a couple of first-rounders. Casey Mize is, of course, Tommy John surgery. Alex Faedo, a few people like that. But they have not come close to replenishing a roster with the kinds of young talent that should and must come from your draft or, again, from those international signings. Now, is he doing the drafting, Al Avila? No. He's helping out on the first rounders and maybe a second rounder as a GM who's a scout must and should do. And their first rounders haven't been their problem. The difficulty has been after the first round, and that's where you have to have your scouts and your scouting directors replenishing a roster with help, yes, from free agency. You've got to get complementary help, and you've got to make some deals. But those are contingent on having trade chips, again, that your draft and the international side has got to bring you. So that has been the issue. The people that want to index this to Chris Ilitch or to payroll or to a bunch of trades, you weren't going to, by way of free agents or trades, make this a playoff team. You were going to make it better than they are. I would grant you that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that their drivetrain had to come from the farm and elsewhere, and it hasn't come.
Joined by Lynn Henning right here on The Bottom Line on the Woodward Sports Network. Were you able to catch Chris Ilitch's post-mortem talk about Al Avila leaving? And if you were, I guess answer that first before I ask you the question.
What happened, guys? I was on my way back from Jacksonville, Florida. I was on I-95, and I got the word what had happened. I immediately, my office called, and I was busy doing an Avila column and looking at what candidates might be available as they go to a successor. So I didn't go through the formality of seeing the Chris Ilitch press conference. I've caught, of course, the snippets that everyone's reacted to. And I don't think that was his best moment. But the people that want to again, portray him as some kind of incompetent skinflint. This is a bleacher creature chatter that isn't really mature. Not that he didn't come off badly with that remark about, well, Al made that trade. In fact, that trade, if you want to get into it, was a good trade for Verlander. Just Franklin Perez went down with an arm injury. They had one suitor for a Hall of Fame pitcher, the Houston Astros. They got 3 good players for him. So all of this poppycock about how Al couldn't trade for anybody is in those contexts completely nonsense. He made an excellent trade. In fact, it blindsided me how good that one was with the Astros at the moment it was made. Just Franklin Perez, who was their best prospect and would have been a horse in rotation, broke down the next year. Then, of course, you've had Jake Rogers, who's had Tommy John surgery, would have been their starting catcher this year, and Daz Cameron, a first-rounder, who might or might not paying off. That's irrelevant. J.D. Martinez had absolutely no one after him, a hitter of his quality, who went on to hit 29 home runs in 62 games. No one was after him in 2017 because the market had completely turned upside down. So if we want to get into that business, you got to look at it factually and in context, in my estimation.
Well, that was kind of going to be my question, though, is how do you feel about him trying to distance himself from those decisions that were made? Because in your opinion, that wasn't a bad trade. But in that moment, he was like, hey, I had nothing to do with this. And I really haven't seen an owner do that too often in professional sports.
That was, I think, a moment that Chris Ilitch must regret. If he doesn't, then that's a mistake. It sounded churlish and petulant. And that's not what Chris Ilitch is. I've dealt with him enough times myself. He's been very good, in fact, with questions and answers. He's been very mature, and he's been very reasonable. But that was not a good moment. And so I think people have reacted to that, on top of the fact that they were in a posture of not liking him anyway, any more than Al Avila. They're kind of dual villains. So the minute that he played into their hands with that remark, everybody lit the match, and the bonfire's been roaring.
Let me ask you about Lynn Henning. Joins us, longtime Detroit news columnist, covered the Tigers, covers MSU, books, authors. He's my man. And I always reference when we get in trouble and Torkelson's not hitting well and he's down in AAA again and Riley Green is maybe coming down to earth, I always say, if Mr. Henning tells us those players are going to be good, I'm sticking with him, because to me, you're my GM. And I just want to give you that compliment before I ask you this question. Who's the next general manager? Who should be the next general manager? I think Jeff Lunau. Why not put those two guys back together again? Hell, they built the Astros.
Oh, I don't think intellectually there's any real problem with that happening, Mass, but it's not going to happen from a practicality standpoint for a couple of reasons. And fundamentally, it's known that Hinch and Lunau, they functioned all right in Houston. That's not going to happen again. It just isn't going to be compatible for reasons that have a lot to do with the terms under which they left. And remember, GMs and managers don't typically get along real well. They put on a nice face, but they're at each other's throat all the time. I mean, people don't understand. Sparky Anderson and Bill LaJoy had a terrific contempt for one another, but they built a world championship team because they both needed each other. So maybe you understand that. I think Maz, a little more in that context might explain it.
Mr. H, we got to hold you on. You got a couple more minutes? Take a quick 30-second break, come back? Plenty more questions. Lynn Henning, Detroit News, longtime columnist, our good friend of the show. It's Stick and Maz right here on the Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Don't go away.
Yeah, and let me tell you about our friends at Guardian Alarm. I'm telling you, you leave home, you're not feeling right. You're like, you know what? I wish somebody was watching my house 24/7. They got that for you. By monitoring your house, they got people. That is their profession, to make sure nobody gets in your house. And the way you can make that happen is you call this number that's right above my head right now. 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again is 1-800-STAY-OUT. And they will keep people out of your house. Guardian Alarm, they've been doing it for almost 100 years. Who else are you going to trust to have your back? 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Welcome back to the bottom line right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. Braylon Edwards is out golfing, so that means Maz is up on the big desk with me. What's up,
I am
Maz?
here, man. Having a good time. Got Lynn Henning here. We had Lomas Brown earlier. We're having some fun.
Good
sports.
show. Flannel Sam's got his big smile on over there, and of course his flannel. Fletch is here. Lynn Henning stuck around with us through the break, and we were talking a little bit about the Tigers GM. Maz had a guy that he wanted to bring in from the Astros. I got my guy, and I would kill for this guy to come here, and I'm sure you know who I'm going to say. Theo Epstein. I mean, if this guy can win a championship in Boston, win a championship in Chicago, and then come here and win one, he's already cemented himself as the greatest GM in history. But my God, he would be baseball God. What are the odds of us getting him?
I think he's answered that question, Stick. I really do. He's happy with his commissioner's job, assistant commissioner's job. Remember, he left Boston and he left the Cubs, the latter of his own volition. And you have to ask yourself why. He might be a good short-term answer. Of course he would. He's a brilliant guy, but there is not a sense that Theo Epstein can do things that other GMs can't. And you're probably going to get other guys for the long haul, assuming that they're good. And I think they're going to get a very good choice out of this very, very, very broad collection of contestants, some sharp guys. And so I understand the power of name value and celebrity and billboard identities here, guys. But you don't have to go that route. And usually that is not going to be a winning proposition the second and third times around. You're better off identifying somebody who's probably younger, who's got the kinds of potential to be the real hits that those guys have been, Lunau or Epstein or Andrew Friedman out in L.A. or Mike Elias now with the Orioles. And who would have thought we'd be talking about an Orioles GM? But
yeah,
that's what you can do with this market. This is a very attractive and appealing job to everybody in baseball. It really is. And you're going to have a stack of tremendous applicants. You've already got them. And all they got to do is pick right. Well, there again, you get into the cynicism about Chris Ilitch and he can't hire. This is just ridiculous. And if people aren't going to get mature about this, I don't want to hear from them. How's that?
Sounds good.
I love mean Lynn Henning because it's like the nicest mean that you could possibly be. He's dropping words that are normally F-bombs, but he's putting them in proper language, but they have the same effect and the same oomph. I love it.
That's why I wanted him as GM. You heard me. Hey, you put a great story out earlier today. I caught wind of it. What is with the next draft in baseball? I mean, the Tigers right now would have the #1 pick in the draft. At worst, they'd fall to maybe #2. But you're telling me now there's a lottery?
Yeah, there's a lottery that is NBA style, NHL style.
Oh.
And it'll be to the 6. Well, they'll have 6 of those lottery balls. And the Tigers right now, actually, Maz, they would be, I think, 3rd in line right now.
30 games under 500?
Yeah, you'd think so, but they've got the A's and the Nationals, believe it or not,
Oh,
who
for
have
God's
worse
sake.
record. And so they're going to take the lottery approach here with 18 teams, and it's down to 0.29% that some of those teams will have a chance. But of course, the Red Sox will get the first overall pick.
Of course.
You know, and that's how that goes. The Tigers, in the fashion of the Detroit Red Wings, probably will get the last of the six.
You know it.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, I understand why they did it. They thought teams were tanking for the first pick. I really don't buy into that. I'm not saying it's never happened, but I don't think that was certainly anything consistent with the rule. But that's what we're looking at. Now, the next question is, when are they going to have the lottery? That hasn't been decided yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they have it at the winter meetings in December.
Yeah.
Knowing Rob Manfred and how he likes to have a little stagecraft involved, he probably wants to have the drama go on at the winter meetings. But we'll see how that plays out.
Hey, a couple months ago, you came on with us and you told us, look, the Tigers got to make some trades, and their probably number one trade chip would be Tarek Skubal. Now he's out with an elbow injury. I mean, if they only listened to you 2 months ago, we could have had some really players ready to come up through and be ready to play next year on this team, which is lacking so much. I read that they're the 26th now ranked minor leagues, and there aren't a lot of gems out there that they could pull up. What's up with Skubal?
Same thing with everybody else. Now, he had Tommy John surgery, as we know, 7 years ago. And that's kind of the extent of the shelf life for a Tommy John surgery before you probably, or at least can be looking at another one. And it sounds pretty bad. Otherwise, he wouldn't be going out to California for that specialist. But when I proposed that they trade him, everybody screamed.
Yep.
But you're not going to get the kind of value that they need, Maz and Stick, unless you make a deal for a real blue ribbon player. And they need help in the moldables. They need a young outfielder who's about ready for the big leagues. That's the kind of guy you would target and expect to get for a guy like Skubal. They need catching help. They need another pitcher. Well, you could have spun Skubal, a healthy Skubal, pitching the way Skubal can this offseason for that kind of a deal. And now that's off the table. And I'm quite sure, frankly, that if he were healthy, the new GM would be dealing him this offseason, strictly out of need. Because as we've seen, you can surprisingly cover up for pitching. Look at this team with everybody they've lost. Their pitching's actually been good all year long, just about. Even this month, I think they've got the best ERA of any starting rotation, if you want to call it that, in baseball. So that's the reason that you make a guy like Skubal marketable, because they need an infusion of people that you can put around Green and Torkelson, and then you've got a legit core in the lineup that really can make for a team that matures and can go deep into the playoffs. But otherwise, it's going to be pretty tough, guys.
Hey, Lynn. I believe I've asked you a question before last time you were on. My name's Fletcher. Tigers, I grew up watching them, of course, loved Verlander, loved all of our pitching staff before everybody left. But we talked about starting pitchers. You were just talking about them. But I had an issue before the trade deadline. We had a chance to, I know he's our all-star, but Soto, I don't really care for him, and I think that we had an opportunity to get maybe a bat or a position player. Was there any reason why we didn't get rid of Soto? Was it we were asking too much for him? Was there just not really an opportunity? Did nobody really need a closing pitcher?
No, your question, Fletcher, is very, very good. In fact, I expected them to deal him, even if they didn't get full retail. And I think Al Avila, and I'm going to find out, by the way, some specifics at some point about that. In his estimation, no one was offering enough for either Soto or Lang or Joe Jimenez or Jimenez, however he wants to pronounce it this week. But any of those guys, or Chafin, who also was very, very marketable. And so, guys, this to me was probably the most befuddling part of the trade deadline, is that they didn't deal anybody other than Michael Fulmer. The answer, it will be, and probably persuasively, that they just didn't get anything close to adequate in terms of offers to those guys. Now, in the defense of that argument, there weren't great retail prices paid for the relievers that did change hands. And so I find that plausible. I would also say, though, that anything that could have been defensible, I would have done certainly for Soto. For anybody else, frankly, among that group that you could make a defensible, ultimately plus trade with. But they didn't do it. And I think they had far fewer shoppers with far lighter wallets than people anticipated going into the deadline. I think that explains it. But I'm with you. I think they should have unloaded Soto, frankly, because he's too difficult to watch. In the ninth inning. I mean, he is. I mean, it is just an exercise in torture to see that man close a ball game. And that tells you, even though his stats are getting you by with that 100-mile-an-hour stuff and with the save percentage, there's some times when you have to let other people handle that role.
Lynn Henning joining us. It's the bottom line right here on the Woodward Sports Network, and we mentioned our 26th ranked minor league club and farm system. You said you follow the minor league club. Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? Any prospect down there that you're looking at is like, okay, this guy could be a legitimate MLB player, like something that we already have that we could potentially grow besides the guys we drafted just this past year?
They've got excellent, in fact, infielders that are at various points in the hatchery right now. Colt Keith is going to be a terrific player. Wenzel Perez has come on this year. He's only, 22? He's really good, and he's got a chance, the way that this breakthrough season has gone, for him to be in the mix. You've got Ryan Kreidler, who, if he hadn't broken his hand, probably would have been up playing third base with Candelario DFA'd. And that's a shame that didn't happen, frankly, because Kreidler has power and plays a really good left side. And you've got Christian Santana, the kid who's down at Lakeland right now, who probably is the best of the whole group. They paid exorbitantly for him, as Latin signees go, $2.95 million, most they've ever given a prospect, and he's worth it. Now he's only 19. So it's going to be a while for him. And then you've got Jace Young, their first-round pick last month, and he'll be up in 2024, maybe a little bit sooner. So they've got a lot of infielders. What is astonishing to me is their inability through these years to get any outfielders. Now, Parker Meadows has got a chance. He's been doing some things down at AA, and he could be pretty good if he learns how to hit lefties. Austin Meadows' brother. And no question about it, he was a second-round pick, first guy picked in the second round, so essentially first-round talent, and he could be there. But I'm really at a loss to explain why trying to get position players up through the farm system has been a problem for the Tigers for 40 years. I'm not talking about just under Al Avila. I'm talking about a problem under Dave Dombrowski, a problem under the predecessors. Greg Smith got Verlander and Granderson out of back-to-back drafts. But, I mean, it's been few and far between, boys. Castellanos, Alex Avila, Brandon Inge. There has not been a lot of help that's been brought up through the minors and through their drafts. So that, to me, is the story of the Tigers, not only now, but over these last few decades. And I think it'll be the first thing that the new GM is going to agree with. And there will be some alterations in concepts or staff there.
Last thing, Mr. H, 30 seconds. Is Torque going to be okay?
Torque's going to be just fine. I think everybody wanted to hurry him along a little bit. No, he's going to be a really, really, really good and powerful hitter. You got to wait a little while, Maz. Even Riley Green has shown you that.
He is.
But next year, you'll see both those guys. Probably our conversation a year from today will be a lot different.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you for joining us, Lynn. Appreciate your time and insight on the Detroit Tigers. I mean, I think we're all dying for a winner here, so I know you are too, man. I know you are too.
Well, I want everybody in Detroit to have 4 good seasons, and right now we're fighting to have 1.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
I mean, there's nothing like Comerica Park in the summertime, especially come fall once they're playing and it's packed, 40,000 people. A lot of kids haven't experienced that, so we want that to be a part of their lives.
But I do think the Lions are going to have a nice autumn, guys, believe it or not.
Love it.
Keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we need one team to show up for Detroit. That would be nice, just one team. So thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to show up, there's one thing that you need to do. Grab your Gypsy vodka, and if you're on the course, make sure you grab that mulligan. We're actually giving away a brand new mulligan golf bag coming up this weekend at the Dream Cruise. We're giving that away right out here on Woodward. I'm going to be out here with the Woodward Sports Tent. We'll have a little putting green. You make 3 putts, you're automatically qualified to win that bag. So stop on by. And if you're in the market, make sure you're shopping for the mulligan. 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade, and vodka. The perfect thing for a fall night now. The mulligan is here by Gypsy. Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Academy of Warren is currently enrolling for kindergarten through 8th grade. It features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, a learning street, a futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. Speaking of athletics, Academy of Warren features a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. Enroll today at academyofwarren.net. That's academyofwarren.net.
Welcome back to the bottom line right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Armani. Maz is here, Flannel Sam, and of course Fletch. And shout out to everybody in the YouTube chat right now. Y'all been having some fun debating soda pop the majority of the day. Fago, what's your favorite Fago, Maz?
I like Red Pop. No, Rock and Rye.
Rock and Rye?
Rock and Rye.
I'm a cream soda guy. I like the cream soda.
Good.
Yeah, can mess with that. Sam, you got a favorite Fago?
I'd have to go with Cherry Cola.
Ooh. Fancy. And what about you over there, Fletch? You seem like a green pop kind of guy.
No, red pop.
Red pop?
Yeah.
Did I say green pop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant grape. I'm sorry.
Grape is good.
Yeah.
Grape is good, but red pop's definitely the best.
And then I was laughing coming back from break because I'm just looking on Twitter right now, and it says, men be like, quote, babe, I'm sorry, I forgot. When is your birthday? But remember the entire first round of the 2016 NHL draft. And he's like, of course. Guilty as charged. You got us. Well, it is now time for the world-famous Maz's Videos of the Day.
Yeah.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
This one's been floating around for since yesterday afternoon. They went to the Tiger game against the White Sox, and they saw this kid sitting with his dad. Dad's got a Tigers hat on, sitting in the stands. The kid's got a hot dog, and he's ready to take a bite out of it.
Uh-oh.
There it goes. Look at him now. Look at the kid. Oh, he's like Spanky in A Little Rascals.
Right? He's a cute little kid.
How cute is that?
Right?
The kid didn't get pissed. He's not crying. He just...
Dad's pissed because that hot dog was $17.
Absolutely, and it looked good.
Yeah, it looked
that
good.
looked like a really good hot dog. I'm starving
Fish
right
would
now, by
tell
the way.
us. Fish is a hot dog connoisseur.
He is.
And
bagels.
chicken fingers.
And bagels.
And bagels, yeah.
Well, they have to be, I think they're Thomas's bagels.
Okay.
The ones that you get from the grocery store.
Hell
He
yeah.
brings those in.
Fish is a legend.
With the side of cream cheese, of course. So that young Tiger fan, that's perfect for this way this Tiger season has going. All right, let's check at this one. This is a look at me stunt that did not go so good. And men, hold on.
Oh,
Please don't fall.
Oh! Oh no! Oh no!
When I showed this one to Fletch, I wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. I just heard him go, "Oh!" and I knew exactly that he was looking at that video. Can we see that again, Fletch?
And I think we've all been dumb enough to try this too.
No,
you've never done.
No way, man.
Come on, I've been drunk and I've tried this.
This?
Yes.
Oh,
God.
That hurts so bad, man.
Fletch, have you tried that?
Oh, did you hear the girl in the background go, "Please don't fall"? My girlfriend would kick my ass, even if I was drunk, if I was trying to do something that stupid.
That's a long jump, man.
That is a long jump. Oh, God.
Poor bastard.
Oh.
He ain't having any babies.
Probably
That's what
shouldn't with that brain.
He just had his vasectomy.
There you go.
All right there. This one is my favorite video of the day. It is a little boy with a group of other kids. Looks like a camp outing. And they all got their yellow T-shirts. They're all going to a Chicago Sky WNBA game. Kennedy, our old Kennedy Broadwell, our girl, wrote online, "I think I found Maz's kid."
Uh-oh.
You look like you're here with a bunch of friends. Are these all your friends?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well then why are you here? Do you like Chicago Sky? It looks like you do.
I have never heard of this group. I have never heard of this.
You've never heard of Sky basketball, the women's team?
No.
You know they won the championship, right?
No.
You didn't know that? Well, now you do.
No, I do, but I still don't really know anything else.
All right, do you know who the Sky is playing today?
No.
What are you looking forward to today with this group?
The buffet.
We should get you on the court today, huh?
Okay.
Let me see how you shoot your threes.
I don't shoot threes.
So much about that video is gold. The buffet answer is definitely
that
you,
gold?
Maz.
That kid could not give a damn about where he's at, except he knows he's going to get fed.
Well, and he's 99.9% of Americans and doesn't know what the hell the Sky is. Like Sky basketball.
The sad part
if
is...
you did that to anybody, they would have the same response.
The sad part is I kind of know the WNBA, although I don't really
Who
watch
plays
it
for
a
the
lot.
Sky?
The Chicago Sky.
Yeah, but who plays for them?
I don't know who plays for them. I just know the teams. Like
who
if
are
you
your
gave
top 5 WNBA players?
I don't know. Lisa Leslie. If you gave me a name, a city or whatever, I can give you their name.
Okay.
Like the number one.
I can't even give you a name.
The number one.
The Aces.
They're the number one WNBA team going into the playoffs.
It's because of Bill Lambier. That's the only reason I know that.
Well, he's not with them.
Oh, really? Did he win a championship with them?
No. He's with the New York Liberty. He was. The one who coaches the Las Vegas Aces is going to be the first female NBA coach, and her name is Becky Hammond from the Spurs.
Yeah, I like Becky Hammond.
She's the coach of the Aces, who will probably wind up winning.
People were shocked that she took a WNBA job instead of trying to stick her way out through the NBA.
She'll be back.
And I'm shocked Bill Lambier never got his NBA shot, man. There were a couple times when the Pistons were looking for a coach. I was hollering Lambier. He won championships here with the Shock.
He pissed too many people off.
Welcome to Detroit. Who gives a damn?
And he is a grouchy guy.
I know.
Can you admit? You think him and LeBron, let's just say, on the same team? You think LeBron trying to pull the strings? What would Bill Laimbeer do to him? He'd probably pull him off the court and tell him to go to the locker room.
I love Bill Laimbeer. He was my favorite player growing up, and then growing up, I was an umpire for Commerce Little League, and his son Eric played in Commerce Little League E, and Bill Laimbeer was the assistant coach. So we'd have to come out for our pre-game meetings about talking about, if it bounces here, it's a foul, it's a double, the ground rules. And I gotta be looking at Bill Laimbeer saying, if there's any insubordination, you're thrown out of here. Like, it's 12-year-old me talking to Bill Laimbeer. And I also have another funny Bill Laimbeer story that I can tell you guys off the air. It involves a friend of mine who was babysitting for them and Bill Laimbeer's wife.
I got to hear that.
Yeah.
You can't say it on the air?
Not right now.
Okay.
I'll tell it to you guys, and then we'll maybe later on this week I'll tell the Bill Laimbeer story. But it is funny as hell.
Now, I know most of you people that are watching on YouTube probably never saw Evel Knievel do his stunts back in the 70s. This, I found, is a grandpa or an older dad like me riding a bike doing some Evel Knievel tricks. This guy's a stud.
Okay.
Not bad, huh?
I'm more impressed with the Vince Young t-shirt. Where the hell did he get that?
He's a VY guy. He's a Tennessee Titan guy.
That is awesome.
Look at this guy.
Did you ever have pegs on your BMX bike, Maz?
I never had a BMX bike.
You never? Okay.
No.
That got popular when I was in middle school.
I had an Apollo Racer as a kid, which was like the top two-wheeler.
I had a Mongoose with some pegs on it.
What's a peg, by the way?
Well, depends on who you're asking.
Well, pegs on a bike, I mean. I know what that is. Peg on a bike.
Oh, you know that peg, but you don't know pegs on a bike?
No, I do. What can I tell you, man? What can I tell you? I leave you with a sweet animal video. Look at this thirsty squirrel. Shut up.
He's thirsty. Do you want to?
Aw.
How do I give it water?
How cute's that little squirrel drinking?
That's the best. And then he asked for it,
He
too.
downed that whole bottle.
Look at this guy.
Look at him.
And he asked for it, too. He came over begging for it.
He did.
I love
think it's
animals.
the sweetest. I'm a squirrel lover. I know a lot of people just like to shoot them. I love them.
Who the hell likes to shoot squirrels, you sick bastards?
Lot of hunters.
I'm not a big hunter
Eat
as
them.
is. Huh?
People eat them.
Well, okay, if you're doing it to survive, go ahead, but just not in your backyard lacing squirrels up. You don't do that.
I dig them, man.
Yeah.
I love animals just
Up
like
north,
you.
my grandpa's neighbor used to spray paint their tails to like tag them, and if they came again, then he'd shoot them. I was like, come on, man, they're just squirrels. Like, we took over their spot.
Yeah.
Either way. Don't be mean to animals, people.
No, be nice.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
And be nice to everybody, including Sam Flannel. Thank you guys for joining The Bottom Line today. We appreciate you. Tomorrow, a big show happening right here on The Bottom Line.
My main man, Sean Beligian, in the big boy chair tomorrow.
Sean Beligian and the most beautiful man on the network, Jeff Iafrate, will be holding down The Bottom Line. So make sure you watch
And I'll
tomorrow.
be in my chair.
And Maz will be back in his big, comfy chair. And then don't forget the Woodward Heavyweights coming up later on today at 5 o'clock. So in 1 hour, make sure you're gearing up for the heavyweights. We are out.
Wait,
We'll see
gear
you
up
tomorrow.
for Scotty G and Woodward Bets at 4:30.
4:30. Make sure you go subscribe to them on their channel, too. So lots of stuff going on at Woodward Sports. You guys have a great Monday. We out.
See ya.